I'm J.R. Church. Welcome to today's analysis of the news. I have a fascinating article out of Israel. This comes from Israel Insider website that says Torah codes predict and warn about Obama presidency. Two Jewish researchers back in 2007, in May 2007, Joel Gallis and Dr. Robert Wolf, asserted with utter certainty in May of 2007, long before Barack Hussein Obama had won his first primary, and when it appeared that Hillary Clinton was a sure thing, that he, Obama, would be the next president of the United States. And then in August 2008, that was a year later, the scholars reported that Obama's name intersects with a passage in the apocalyptic book of Daniel, chapter 7, and specifically Daniel 7:25, which speaks of the last king who would oppress God's people under the rubric of bringing about change to the world. Now, this is the Bible codes here, equidistant letter sequences, and they've found that his name, Barack Hussein Obama, intersects this verse. I want to read it to you from my Bible, Daniel 7:25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change, get that word change, times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and a dividing of time. And so they predict that Obama's administration will rule for 3.5 years. Let's see, where does that put us? 2009, 10, 11, and 12. Oh, that puts us in the year 2012, doesn't it? It's interesting. So, the scholars show that the numerical equivalent of Barack Hussein Obama in Gematria, the practice of finding the numerical value of letters and creating associations between words and phrases, is 501. So his name does not add up to 666. In Hebrew Gematria, it's 501. In an article from August 2008, the scholars elaborate that this number is associated with the, quote, end of days. And two factors that they say the Torah indicate would trigger the apocalypse: the rise of Islam and the fact that the Jews are bringing about their own fall by overwhelmingly helping to elect Obama. This comes out of Israel now. I'm just reading. Don't kill the messenger. I'm just telling you what the Israel Insider website reported. And I continue to read. The connection is that the descendants of Ishmael are the evil that will befall the Jewish people at that time. We will anger God through the work of our hands. The work of our hands has a gematria of 501. And it goes on to say, so what could we have possibly done with our hands that would anger Hashem, that is, Jehovah? With our very own hands, we finance and work to put the wrong people in power over us. This action results in our downfall. By putting into power leaders in Israel who don't believe in God, we help bring about a spiritual collapse. And by electing dangerous leaders in America and other countries, we assist in bringing our physical and moral downfall. We vote for these people, we put them in power, and we raise money for them. This inappropriate work of our hands will bring evil upon us in the form of Ishmael, that is, Islam. Ishmael, you know, was that other son of Isaac, or the other son of Abraham. Abraham had Ishmael and Isaac, those two sons, and they've been warring ever since. So he says, not only is 501 the value of, quote, the work of our hands and, quote, our punishment, but it's also connected with the next president of the United States that we're helping put in power through Jewish efforts. For 501 is also the gematria of Rosh. Remember Rosh? The chief ruler of Meshach and Tubal. Anyway, they use the word Rosh as the new head. That's what Rosh means, head, or leader of America. Hashem watches as countless Jews, especially in Hollywood, California, rush to send their money to Obama's campaign chest. And so, with our own hands, we are in the process of taking a descendant from Ishmael and placing him as our head, or Rosh, in the White House just 7 years after 9/11. He is indeed the evil that will befall us at the end of days, the evil that Moses spoke to our ancestors about. Goes on to say, not only is his name the same gematria as Ishmaelim, that is, the descendants of Ishmael, evidencing that he is a Muslim, although he denies it, but it also has a further connection to a wave of impending evil against the Jews and the rest of the world. At our Passover Seders, we spill a drop of wine when we mention each of the 10 plagues. And also we mention the abbreviation of those plagues. Well, this abbreviation of the 10 plagues also has a gematria of 501, the same as Barack Hussein Obama and the Ishmaelites. Obama and radical Muslims will bring as much havoc, destruction, and confusion to the world as all the 10 plagues together brought to Egypt. It is interesting how Rabbi Yehuda, 2,000 years ago, who made the acrostic or abbreviation of the plagues, took the first letter, Hebrew letter of each plague. However, with respect to the last plague, the killing of the firstborn, he took the second letter, or the first letter of the second word of the plague, rather than that is the bait. Took the bait, the first letter of the second word of the plague, rather than the mem, the first letter of the first word. Perhaps he knew that in the future, during the end of days, there would be an Obama. Perhaps his message is a warning to us that has been encoded in the Haggadah for nearly 2,000 years until today. Daniel 7:25 deals with the last king of the fourth beast of exile, who will humble 3 other kings. So who are these 3? You remember the 10 horns? And the little horn plucks up 3 of the first horns by the roots? Well, here's what Rabbi Sagi Gaon said about those 3 kings. He said, the 3 kings who will be humbled are from Israel, the leaders of Israel, and Greece, representing Europe, and Ishmael, representing the Arab nations. This haughty, arrogant king will speak words against God and the Jewish people, and he will try to change the times and laws. How interesting it is that this very word, change, is the key word used by Obama in his campaign. The coded end of days message that Jacob gave over to his sons was not deciphered by them, but by our generation. The generation alive at the end of days can understand the clues and break the code of the biblical's gematria and the equidistant letter sequences. Well, it's a fascinating article coming out of Israel. I don't know exactly what to make of it, but I can tell you, I sincerely believe we're living in the last days. How close we are, I can't say. But fascinating that these scholars in Israel went to the scriptures and found Barack Hussein Obama's name in equidistant letter sequences going right straight across Daniel 7:25. Wow. I'm J.R. Church. We'll see you again tomorrow with our analysis of the news.